This is video on statics of non-planar forces. This is the third video. This topic is also popularly called space forces. Now here we are going to look at how to find resultant of non-concurrent forces which are also non-planar. So best way to do it is explained by way of example. So see in this figure there are 5 forces and they surely are non-planar and non-concurrent. Now our task is to find resultant of these forces. Now, like coplanar forces, resultant will consist of one force vector and one moment vector. So let's understand the procedure in detail. So first task is to express each force as vector. So let's say F1. You see, if you see magnitude given is 12. So if you multiply this 12 by the unit vector which is given by these numbers. See what are these numbers? See. Now coordinate of this point is 0, 0, 7 and this is 0, 3, 0. Therefore length vector along this is minus 3j. That is 0, 0 minus 0i, 0 minus 3j and 7 minus 0k. So it is minus 3j plus 7k. This is a length vector and divided by the magnitude of this length vector, that will be under root of 3 square plus 7 square. So I multiply the magnitude by the unit vector, I get force in a vector form which looks like this: minus 4.73j plus 11.03k. Now what we are going to do is express all these forces in this manner. So have a look at F2, magnitude 15, and like before this is the unit vector, and you have F2 as 7.44i minus 13.03k. Similarly F3, magnitude 10, and see this minus 4i plus 3j. Now you see, you must know that we are doing head minus tail, that is coordinates of head of the arrow minus tail of the arrow. So that's why it is for F3 the magnitude 10, it is 3i, it is 0 minus 4i and 3 minus 0j. And similarly we have F4. See, F4 goes from here to here. We have done exactly in the same manner. And then we have F5, which, see, after all, magnitude is 15 and direction, we don't have to do anything else. It is straight away directed in z-axis, so k direction. So we just say 15 into unit vector along z-axis, that is k. So we have managed to express all these forces as vectors. Now what we do is we find position vectors of each of these vectors. So that will be, say for F1 we call position vectors R1. Then this vector is 3i, meaning if you take a vector from origin and end on point on this F1, then this vector going from origin 0 to this point is 3i. So we note that. Then we find R2, which is 7k. See R2, so F2 goes from here to here. So we take a vector starting from here and ending at 7, so 7k. Similarly R3 corresponding to F3 is R3 corresponding to F3. So this is the 10, the force magnitude is 10. So R3 is, see, this 4i. And R4, which goes from here to here, is 7i plus 7j, and R5 for this 15, it is 9i. Then what you do is find moment of all these forces about origin. So that, and for this position vectors are useful. Then in that case, M1 is simply R1 cross F1, M2 is R2 cross F2, M3 is R3 cross F3, and M4 is R4 cross F4. And M5 M5 will be, we are not elaborately written here, but it will be R5, which will be 9j cross 15k. That will be minus 135j. Now, taking the cross products, you get these vectors. And now the resultant force is simply addition of all these vectors, and you can work out magnitude if you wanted to, and resultant moment is simply addition of all the moment vectors, and we can work out its magnitude. Now what this means is method to find resultant of non-concurrent forces is you imagine that all of them are transferred to origin and just add the vectors, so you get this resultant. But when you imagine and actually transfer these vectors, each transfer creates a moment which is R cross F, and that's why we have worked out this M1, M2, M3, M4, M5 added up, and these together, that is this vector R and this vector M together give us the resultant force system of these non-concurrent forces. Now, since 5 forces are taken and the procedure is set, we could do it for literally any number of forces, and whether they are parallel to each other or they are located anyhow in the space, it doesn't matter to us as long as complete data is available, and that complete data is the magnitude and the end coordinates. So this is the way you handle this type of problems. Thank you.